Drop it.
FUT. Hello everybody and welcome along to FUT in Review, powered by FUTcoaching.com. My name is Dan Wimbush, otherwise known as Wimby, and welcome along to your latest dose of FIFA Ultimate Team podcasting goodness. Stay tuned. Over the next 45 minutes or so, we have got one of the most controversial SBCs of this FIFA cycle to talk about, plus Futties rolling on. We've got another vote and lots of other goodies to get into. Before I introduce my co-host for the day, a very big thank you to all of our Patreons, including those who are Skybox holder, Artyom, Reese, Amma, and Daniel as well. Thank you to all of you. They are the top tier of support. If you want to give any level of support, head over to patreon.com/FUT in review. Lots of goodies, discounts, and perks depending on your selected tier. And of course, all of them get you access to FUT coaching at a discount, futcoaching.com. If you want to improve your FIFA game, if you want to get in the sharpest condition for the new game, why not book a coaching session now? Anyway, without further ado, I am delighted to finally be co-hosting again with this man. It is the Scout. It is Nathan Downs. Nathan, it has been a long time since we've done a show together. How are you?
I'm very good, Wimby. Thank you for having me back on. It's been a while. I've missed being on with you. I think it's different being on with John and the rest, but yeah, it's good to be back on with you and able to talk FIFA and probably some nonsense over the next wee while.
Yeah, FIFA in August, folks. We are still doing it. We are those people. But Nathan, I thought, this week, we're down to 1 week, one show a week now. John, still on vacation, having a great time, by the way. I think he's off to the zoo today. So we're down to one show a week because there's not an awful lot going on in the FIFA cycle. But then yesterday, Wednesday, we're recording this on a Thursday afternoon. Wednesday night, there was a player released. Now, it is a 96 rated card, a very popular card in FIFA. Mr. Ferland Mendy, shape-shifted, if you will, to a centre midfielder card, a 96, 5-star, all great. Expect to pay a bit of a premium for a card like that. Then you clicked into the SBC and saw that it was 17 squads, which at the time of going to air, Futbin is estimating will cost you 2.8 million coins to complete. Nathe, can you please possibly try and make sense of this?
No.
That wraps up the show, everybody.
That's it. That's us done. Thanks and good night. No, I've got no idea what they're thinking. I mean, there's lots of similar players like this. I know Ferland, he's 5-star, and it's Mendy who, he's very OP in FIFA over the last few years, so I get that. But when you do a stat comparison, the Barella that was released last week for, a fifth of the price? 5% of the price, sorry. He's like 150k or something like that. Like, he's got more stats than Mendy. It just doesn't make sense for between 2.5 and 2.8, depends on the fluctuations, but it's a lot. And I think one of those segments as well, was it not 6 team of the season players as well? So it's crazy. I mean, he's all 90s, and his stats are tasty, don't get me wrong. But not at this stage of the game, no player's really going to be worth 2.5, 2.8 mil. The only thing I can hope is it means that we've got the repeatable 85 times 10 SBC that we had last year coming, or something even better, because this is just crazy for this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, EA have slightly broken the mold and done something that we've not really seen from an SBC in a while. They, as you mentioned, it's not just, run-of-the-mill 86, 87, 90, or even 90, although there are 2 91 rated squads in this. But the first 4 squads are all promo-based. So the first one is 3 winter wildcards. You've then got to put in 4 future stars, 4 FUT birthdays, and as you mentioned, 6 team of the season cards, and a partridge in a pear tree. The partridge may be optional. So, like you say, that is immediately going to jack up the price. And the team of the season one for 6 team of the seasons, again, Futbin is coming in around about 255,000 coins at the moment. You have to believe, as you've just said, that the 85 by 10 repeatable is coming, or that there will be some other repeatable coming. Maybe there will be like a guaranteed future stars for an 82 rated squad or something, because otherwise this just doesn't make sense. And the frustrating thing from a fan point of view, and being the dedicated fans of the game that we are, is that, okay, if you're going to do that and it all makes sense, fine. But why not just release this card at the same time as those upgrades? Because all this is done, as it has erased a lot of goodwill, or whatever remaining goodwill or patience some people had with the game. I saw lots of different content creators and just casual fans alike just scratching their heads and just throwing their hands up in the air and saying, well, what is the point in this? You're supposed to be giving back to us at this time of year, and this is a slap in the face.
Yeah, it seems really strange. I know we're going to discuss it in a bit, Wimby, but obviously we've got the new swaps kind of come out as well. So maybe this is a way to try and force people's hands if they really, really want the card into those fodder packs. Again, that's just an idea, but it just seems too much. Like that price of SBC, in January is still hefty. I know people would be more likely to do it come sort of, halfway through the cycle rather than the last month of the cycle, or, it's last nearly 2 months really, because I think the release date's the end of September this time instead of the week before. So, but yeah, at this stage of the game, it's just crazy, and make it grindable. And instead of having all those massive requirements, do maybe the first one you need to get a player after doing 30 wins or 20 wins or 10 wins or whatever. Like, make it a bit more fun to grind. Somebody in a Discord put it was an objective player in FIFA 20. Something like that would have been more fun and appeal to more people. It's a bit strange, even though he's got the French Real Madrid links. Yeah,
I think, you kind of alluded to it there. If this card was a mile better than anything else out there, and, this was even 2 months ago, you could say, okay, you've got to put him behind a big paywall because anyone that has him is going to have a massive advantage. But as we've talked about earlier in the show, you've got a Barella out there that's 5.5. You've had the likes of Rafinha released as well in recent weeks for a fraction of the price. And these cards, no matter how good Mendy is, he cannot, just because of the time of year we're at and the stats that those other cards have, he cannot be that much an advantage. So all you are literally doing is putting him, as I said, behind a massive paywall and a massive barrier for people to complete him. And we're talking about 6 weeks of a game left. And even if, you say, well, the fodder packs are coming with a summer swaps token. They start on the 12th of August. So again, just limiting your time with these players. It's just a bit tone deaf to me. And look, we're recording this on a Thursday afternoon. Friday night, even tonight, EA might release things that make this make sense. But it's just, as I said, it's damaged not their reputation, but it's frustrated a lot of people, and it's taken away some goodwill. And there will be some people that are just like, well, I just can't be bothered. Even if, they do release a load of upgrades, it's like, well, it's too much. I don't want it.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just comparing him now to the Jude Bellingham card. I know you're a big fan of Jude. He's only 19 stats less than this Mendy, and he's going for pennies at the moment. So that just sums it up. So the only thing that we can maybe hope for is that EA are going to jack the pack weight now, that pretty much every pack is going to have some high-end specials in it. I don't really see them doing that until the last month, come into September, then pretty much every pack you have will have nice blue sort of flashes or whatever. But just like we say, I think it's better leave this one for now, because I think it's making everybody a bit more uptight as you speak about it.
Have you, and again, this is anecdotal, I can't produce any statistics on this, so obviously take what I'm about to say with a pinch of salt, and when I ask you, Nathe, as well, but have you noticed a kind of a bigger drop-off in this FIFA? Because this is my third FIFA now, and throughout FIFA 20 and FIFA 21, interest seemed to be there right throughout the summer, but I've just got the feeling that this is really tapered off now, and that people have just, given up and put down their controller for a while.
Yeah, I think so. I think we started it earlier as well. If you follow certain streamers, I know a lot of them had decided to give the game up really early this year, which was surprising. I still enjoy the game. I don't think it's bad. And I think, to be fair, the last year and the year before that, we were in COVID, so people were at home a lot more and had more reason to play the game. Whereas now, we're going through decent weather and it's summertime and such. So I can understand, people not being quite as hardcore grinders. I still enjoy the game. I think the new players, they freshen it up. I'd like to see some of the promos better priced, like this one, and another player that got really SBC that dropped anyway. It was already out, but better price on these to make it more fun, because all these players are going to be fairly similar now, and it eliminates that skill gap even more. So I would like to see slight changes, but there's definitely a big drop off. Played a few friendlies earlier to do the Serie A one to get all the packs, and you're playing the same person 4 or 5 times in a row, which isn't the most fun for the other person.
Yeah, I just get this feeling that EA should probably recognise that they have to pull out every trick in the book at this point to keep people engaged, and releasing frustrating bits of content. And also, it's not just this Mendy card. I just feel like the last week of this Futties promo has just been the same recycled stuff. Like this, how many times do you want to do a Futties Team 2 promo pack? How many times do you want to do an 86 plus player pick? It's just, or a 94 plus shapeshifters pick. Just make something a little bit different, because otherwise I just feel like it's just deja vu.
Yeah, I've been logging on doing the 85 times 10, the 86 plus, and that's been pretty much it in terms of, and me and you both love the menu grinds, and that's pretty much it. While I was on holiday last week, I did do a lot of the 875 times 5 or whatever it was, which was mixed, but that was just because I was sitting in the sun having a few drinks and kind of thought I'll just do that rather than get sunburnt in the pool and such. But there's not an awful lot to grind for, and we go back to this Mendy card. Just looking at it now, it's not had a single special this year. If you're going to release a card at that price, super reduce him and make it one that like that Tumani card that had a couple informs or something like that. Make it a card that a player that's deserved that extra price and extra boost, not somebody that 2 years ago had a phenomenal card and his gold card's pretty good at the start of the year, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely agree. But look, those are some gripes. Look, we mentioned that there have been other SBCs that have been well priced. Since we recorded a show last Friday with myself and Shaq, we have had, again, a very common card, especially at the start of the cycle, and he had a very nice Future Stars 2 in Lacroix. He has had a 95 rated centre-back card released. And Nathe, again, this one at the complete other scale, yours for the bargain price of around about 100,000 coins.
Yeah, this one looks really good. 92 acceleration and 99 sprint speed. So he's been fast since the start, hasn't he? He's got 94 defending. His heading accuracy and sliding tackle slightly lets him down, but he looks good. He looks good for 100k. He's got medium attack and high defensive work rate, which is what you quite like. He's got the German links, so he can help you maybe bring in a few of those players back into your squad. I think he's pretty solid, to be honest. He's not going to be the best defender on the game, but if you've got one of the bruises next to him, I use at the moment Ruben Diaz and Chiellini, and they're not the most agile and nimble defenders, so he might be somebody to try and work in next to them to kind of give you that little bit of recovery. But yeah, he's definitely good for 100k, or some of the fodder that's coming at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. 6'3" defender. Like you mentioned, the speed is top notch. Yes, the agility and balance a little bit below top tier for this stage, being 86 and 83 respectively. But he's going to do a very fine job for you. 2-star, again, not massively ideal. High and average body type can sometimes cause a bit of problem, again, mixed in with that agility and balance issue, but he's going to catch up to basically anything. And as you've said, French with Bundesliga links means there's lots of ways to get him into your team. The only slight negative, again, is that he is not a premium footy. So unfortunately, he will not give you those, nice bonus links that some of the other cards do. We have had a premium footy released, though, Nathan. This card, it was really intriguing because I thought this was a bit of a sleeper card in Zapata because he was a 5-star, but maybe just because he's just not the most fashionable card. I think a lot of people just turn their nose up at this, but I've used this card a little bit. And I think he's really good. I think he's really worth it. And again, for a lovely discount, bargain basement price as well of, what is he, about?
130. He's about 130.
Yeah,
Yeah,
130k.
no, I agree. He's very good. His base stats on their own are very, very good. Just looking at Footbin, they recommend putting an engine on him, which kind of boosts his dribbling up to 97. It gives you that extra balance and agility, which may be needed. But yeah, I mean, his finishing's all top notch. The only thing that lets him down there is his long shots and his penalties. But if you're using him as your out and out striker, you're not going to hit that many long shots with him anyway. His acceleration's solid. Like, he's just a very well-rounded card. The 5-star is nice. At the moment, we're getting some good Serie A players as well. We had Chiellini released, and there's the objective players that came out on Friday as well. So he's a nice way to link a lot of these players together.
Yeah, as you mentioned, 5-star. He's got the finesse shot trait, the outside of the foot shot trait, and power header, all great for a striker. He's the same height even as one Cristiano Ronaldo. And if you've ever used one of CR7's premium cards, this feels similar to that. So if you've been able to get on with Ronaldo in this game, you'll be able to get on with this card. He isn't obviously a Ben Yedder type or a Neymar type that's going to be able to be really, really nimble in the box, but he's certainly not a truck. He's certainly able to pull off skill moves at a decent pace, get himself into space, and the finishing is top notch. So again, if you've done Barella, I would highly recommend doing this card and at least giving him a go, because for 130,000 coins, you've got nothing to lose. And I think it will pleasantly surprise you. If you wanted a different striker option, and this one might well play into a card we'll talk about when we come to talk about summer swaps, Jonathan David, Nathe, a very popular card over the last couple of FIFA cycles. He's been given a standard Futties card. So again, doesn't give you those lovely bonus links, but still very nice. And again, dirt cheap, under 100,000 coins.
He doesn't come with the premium links, because I used a few of his earlier renditions and he's very, very fun, very good. Pace, he's 97 pace, but he's got that 99 sprint speed. His shooting is absolutely cracked usually. He's down to 90 volleys and long shots, the only thing that drops him there. Good passing. His physicality, it says his strength is 92 and his aggression's around at 78 though, but every time you use him, it feels like that's juiced. So, we sometimes talk about false stats because he just seems to barge his way past folk when he's got the ball. So, yeah, I mean, I've not used this version of the card, but his other ones were really, really good. So I'm probably going to get him done before he expires. I think he expires in 2 days' time, so Saturday. So yeah, he's definitely worth doing, especially if you've got you've got the way of fitting him into like a League One team or whatnot.
Yeah, the 4-star skills are going to put some people off at this stage of the game because, as we were talking about with Shaq last week, this is the stage where you have to be really picky because there are so many great options out there that, why would you necessarily sacrifice something? But as I said, for 63,000 coins at the moment, just worth picking up just as an experiment or just as a bit of a fodder dump, really. And I don't really know what more to say about the card than that. It's just nice. It's got a great dynamic image is what I will say there. With him, kissing the road.
Really cool dynamic image. The only thing is, obviously, his Canadian link, you've probably only got Alphonso Davies as the main one there. If you get his, was his Shapeshifters card that was really well responded to?
I think was it his Team of the Year nominee? Oh, Winter Wildcard as well. He had as well.
Fuzzy Davis is always very good on this game anyway, but you're lacking kind of any fluidity. No, it was a Shapeshifters, the 96 rated striker, which you can obviously put to Cam as well. That one's a very good card. It's torn me apart a few times. So those ones would go well together as well. So you have got options there. But yeah, for 60k, it's a bit of a no-brainer. If you've got the fodder, then they get him done. He's good fun, and bring him off the bench for the last 30 minutes. He's going to tear defenders a new one.
Yep, absolutely agreed. Again, just a bit of a no-brainer, really. If you're looking for a place to dump some fodder from these packs, go and get it done, because he will give you a nice link to someone in the summer swaps. But just before we talk about that, the other big SBC of the week, EA slowly cranking out these big icons, and I think pretty much the penultimate big one that people are after is out in the wild. Ronaldinho's Prime Icon Moments SBC is available for you to craft. But if if the Mendy requirements put you off, this one isn't going to be much better. It's a bit cheaper, Nathe, but it's still going to take you a long time to get this one done.
It's a 2 point. Yeah, it's coming at 2.3. It's 2.3 on the market, and it's 2.2 give or take to do the SBC. So not a big difference there. We all know Ronaldinho's very fun. He's got his own sort of custom animations, but it's a lot of this time. To be fair, if the repeatable SBCs are out, he's one that I would probably do over Mendy because he's more unique. To be fair, I like the menu grind anyway, so I'll probably end up doing Mendy eventually if it's out at the right time. Just because, especially with the wee one being up at silly o'clock, then it means I've got time to do it. But yeah, I wouldn't do this unless there's a repeatable way of grinding it. I wouldn't dump everything into it because it's very, very hefty. And like you say, the signal's probably the big R9 coming in the not too distant future, or even the, maybe slightly less, but the Cruyffs of the R9s or the Hullet's already out, but these big ones are coming. So he's not one that I would say I must do right now, but he definitely would be fun to have. We all know how good he is in the game, and his dynamic as well. It's just his sort of contagious smile as well, so that makes a difference.
Yeah, very much one to do when that repeatable fodder option comes out. For anyone that was around at the end of the last cycle, you'll know that as soon as that 85 by 10 came out, everybody was able to craft Pele, Ronaldinho, R9, Hullet. So just give yourself a couple more weeks, unless you are desperate to get your hands on him. And even if you are, maybe just do the loan, and you can use him for a quarter of your weekend league. Just to try him out in advance. So that wraps up the SBCs. Do have an objective player, Makuko, who has a premium Silver Stars Futties card. So one to go out and do if you fancy that. If you are, still want to give your silver team a run out. No token available in that objective, though. EA do like to hide these tokens in Silver Stars, but not this week. In recording with Shaq last week, Nathe, I completely forgot to mention the launch of Summer Swaps 2. I think because it had been leaked a good week in advance, I'd kind of almost taken it as read that everybody knew what was coming out. But it was officially launched last Friday. Summer Swaps 2, same as Summer Swaps 1, 50 tokens coming out. You can't redeem them until August the 12th, and then you'll have 17 days to do so. I think already there's probably been access to about 12 of them. We've seen very similar objectives to the first Summer Swaps. We've seen some in SBCs. We've also seen some Squad Battles ones released for playing with Uruguay and Belgian players. And the One Nation Golden Goal mode has come back as well. Now, I believe that's with German and players from the Netherlands. But Nathe, out of all of the options that we've been presented with in this Summer Swaps, I think there is a certain king.
Yeah, there is a certain
that everyone has their eye on.
Who everybody would like to have. To be honest, I've missed a whole week of that. I will not be getting him because he is coming in at 27 to, yeah.
20
so
or 27 tokens, depending on which one you want to do.
98 rated, that's double 5 stars, isn't it?
I think so. We haven't had it officially confirmed, but it does look that way.
99 pace, 99 shooting, 94 passing, 99 dribbling. So it's kind of 1 point off that for the 97 rated, but for the extra 7 tokens, you've got to imagine it'd be double 5 for that because he's 5-star weak foot anyway. So he would be phenomenal, and he'd hand down be the best striker on the game, including any of the team of the season, team of the years, any of the icons. R9 could be left in his path for that, but 27 tokens is a long grind anyway. I think I've probably got about 3 or 4, depending on how many came out as SBCs, and your free one. But yeah, that the Rat King is back, and I can imagine he would annoy a lot of people like he's done in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've also got Icon Moments Cruyff for 36 tokens. You've got Di Natale Shapeshifter's Hero card for 30. As mentioned, the slightly worse Yedda for 20 tokens. And then otherwise, it's just various picks and packs. You can also get Icon Moments and Brotta for a cheeky 4 tokens as well if you're looking for a right back. But otherwise, it's just fodder packs galore, including for 10 tokens, the 86 plus times 15 which is a very interesting pack to bring out. And yeah, then your variety of picks, with the top pick being for 34 tokens, a 94 plus icon moments player pick, which will give you 4 options. So the only thing I'd say about that one is by the time we've grinded out 34 tokens, I've got to believe a repeatable fodder pack is open, so you can actually just go and craft whichever one you want. So I've got no problem with these things being out. I know some people are saying I don't want to be playing squad battles in August, but look, this is all very optional. And even Yedda, like, you know, you've said 27 tokens is a lot, but that's only half of them. So you're not going to have to do everything to get him. So it's just nice to have something else to do. Earlier in the show, we, you know, criticizing EA for maybe taking away some of the fun, but
yeah,
it is nice to have a reason to log on
at this stage of the game. You know, I've only played about 3 weekend leagues the whole way through, but I think it's always nice to have things to do rather than just play for fun. I've not obviously been into rivals because I've been off on holiday, so came back and I did the like I said, the Serie A, sort of whatever that tournament was, where you had to have the maximum of 3 teams, and got my fodder that way, so I got guaranteed players. But I think this is a good thing to have. Like you say, you don't have to do it. Like the 82 times 25 is 1 token, 83 is 2 tokens, 84 is 3 tokens. So you're not having to do an awful lot to get decent fodder packs. And I know we think that the repeatable ones are coming, but it's always nice to have those extra options, and you could clearly redeem them. Was it the 12th? You said, where, you know, as soon as it's in, you can redeem these packs if you really wanted. If you wanted to do your Mendy's or your Ronaldinho's or whoever else may be coming. So I think it's good. I don't think I'm up for the big full grind for the 30 or the 27 tokens because I've missed some already. But, you know, if somebody wants to do that grind, then fair play to them. Well done. And, you know, some of the packs on here, you know, I wouldn't be interested at all. Like the Shapeshifters pick, I've probably got most of the 95 plus ones that would come up in those picks. It's only the elite ones that I've not got. And, you know, even at this stage, EA will be stingy with them. So there's not much point me putting 17 tokens into getting a 95 plus, which will probably be a 95 rated Delict as my best. So, but yeah, have you got your eyes on any of these, Wimby? Are you going to do any of these?
Just Yedda. I'm going to get as many tokens as I can. At this stage of the game, I'm not too bothered about rivals anymore. I don't mind playing playoffs, and I don't mind if I can squeeze in a weekend league doing that. But rivals at this point, I'm not massively fussed with. I find it the most sweaty mode. And yes, it's the best mode to test yourself. But in August, I'm not about testing myself too often. So I'm trying to get like 4 wins just for some packs. So it's good that there are these other modes to do that. My only complaint is that, again, the One Nation objective for the online tokens is limited to 4 games a day. Just feels a bit tight, especially because they're golden goal. It's very easy to lose games that you would win. So I'd like to see that eased, but whatever. But yeah, all really nice options. And I said, it gives you something to grind out over these final few weeks. Just before we go, Nathe, I wanted to kind of delve into speculation mode because we're recording this on a Thursday, so we don't know what's coming out on content drop. We've got to believe it's best of version 3 or Futties, whatever they want to call it, bringing out the likes of Shapeshifters into packs and some other premium Futties. But that still leaves a good 6 weeks left in the game cycle. Now, we've seen in previous years a pre-season or a warm-up promo, and with the return of things like Team of the Week, of course, the Premier League and most major leagues are back this weekend or next. So are you expecting one final promo?
I think a sort of pre-season one would be about right, especially when we're talking about that Mendy card, how they've put the requirements for the various cards in it. I think that's a way of getting you to play on a little bit further. So, you know, bringing out the future stars or whatever it was required. I quite like that. I think it helps the people play towards the end of the cycle and prep for the next installments of FIFA 23. Especially, you know, we're having chats at the moment about who's doing RTGs or who's going to be starting up the Fucker Club, your first owner club again. So these extra packs at the early stages really help if you're going to do, you know, the RTG type game next year. So I think it's good. It gives you something to grind for. My only gripe is that all these one league, so one nations. I'm absolutely shafting all my golds into upgrades, or even all my cards, all my rares into upgrades. So I'm knackered because I'm trying to hold on to my specials, but I'm still doing the 85 times 10 and the 86s. So I've only got my sort of high end ones that at least I've got one or two from each league that can make a difference. But I'm really struggling to put full teams together now for what the requirements are.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially for the squad, it's not as important in the squad battles ones, but I was like, I'm really struggling to find 11 Uruguayans in my club, and I'm someone that does bronze pack method. Yeah. So I don't know how anybody else is cobbling these teams together. I do expect a preseason promo. We saw last year, of course, some really nice cards released right in the dying days because, they tend to highlight players that have been transferred. I remember 2 years ago, like Timo Werner had a Chelsea card out. Last year we saw Messi and CR7 both get transfer cards as well. So I could see, them bringing out a juiced up 5-star, 4-star Haaland, maybe, celebrating his move to City, or a Darwin Núñez for Liverpool. Those kind of cards, maybe a Lewandowski Barcelona card.
Yeah, everybody Barcelona card the way they're going.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Me and you are going to get signed up soon. They're finding money out of somewhere. I think they're buying coins.
I think so. Yeah, they'll need to get investigated for transfers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be fishy when they start selling like a random under-20s Barcelona B side for 50 million somewhere.
That's all right. Chelsea will buy them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I expect that to come around the corner. So there will be reasons to play. When we do get things like Mendy being so massively overpriced, it is very frustrating. But through the fury and annoyance that I share with everybody else, I do think that it will start to make sense in the next few days. Mendy is out for 2 weeks as well. So again, that kind of hints to a fact that there will be a better way to craft him. And, we'll all have, as we saw at the very end of FIFA 21, most people had the top icon moments cards and the likes of Messi's 99 and Ronaldo's 99. And we had that juiced up Renato Sanchez, didn't we, as well?
He was 96 or something, I think, wasn't he? We can also
we had a Kante as well.
We can always do a shameless plug now as well. If you are struggling for motivation but still kind of half want to keep going, our Discord is definitely keeping me going. I was keeping in touch with everything that was going on while I was away, still chatting. Even last night, I was asking for help with my team that I can build for the Serie A stuff. So it's still very, very active in there. I know John's on holiday now, but I'm sure he's got lots of really cool stuff lined up. And obviously, with the new game coming, it's good to keep yourself sharp and in with it all before the new game launches.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. And again, you get Discord access for any level of our Patreon, which starts as low as £1 or whatever your local denomination, £1, €1, $1 a week. It's works out to $5 a month. And look, we know times are tight. We know that, it's the cost of living is not easy, but we very much appreciate the support. And we like to think that you get absolute value no matter what tier you sign up for. So check it out, even if it's just for a month and you decide, oh, well, I don't like it. I like to think that you'll like it. The Discord just grows bigger and bigger. Of course, as well, we have had the Pro Clubs team launched over the last month or so. They are I was saying vaguely. What I meant to say was valiantly battling away under the leadership of course, the team FUT Coaching Pro, Ryan. He's galvanising the troops and, they're trying their best to improve and build a team at very short notice. So look, if you're a Pro Clubs player or if you fancy getting involved in that, again, hit us up on socials at FUT in Review or patreon.com/FUT in Review. And again, futcoaching.com, if you want to sharpen up your game, it's definitely not just something for FIFA 22. It teaches you skills and hints and everything that will see you in good stead for generations of this game to come. Nathe, anything to add before we wrap up this show?
Yeah, my question, have you pre-ordered the new FIFA yet?
No, only because I'm too lazy at the moment. I will click the button on my Xbox and get that double discount. Because again, if you're an EA Play member and you go through your console, you get 10% off twice. So definitely do that. I think I said that with my show with Shaq. Definitely worth signing up to EA Play just for a month, just for that little perk. But yeah, I will be pre-ordering the Ultimate Edition. They'll sucker me back in. What about yourself?
I've not yet. We're moving house in 2 weeks, so I've not checked what dates everything. The deal's expired. But
I think it's the 13th.
Oh, is it? Well,
I'll double check that quickly now, but I believe it's the 13th.
Might need to do it before then. But no, I'll definitely be pre-ordering it. I'll get the Ultimate Edition as well. So again, set yourself up on a good foot for the RTG that's coming. I'm definitely going to be doing that. I'm not going to do the first Owners Club because I like my squad building too much, but I'll definitely be going RTG this year completely. I think it's going to be good fun. And it gives us plenty to chat about over the next year as well. I'm actually getting really excited for it already.
Yeah, I think, again, no matter what, our small gripes with the game, I think I'm with you. I'm still enjoying this game. I'm still playing it. And especially now, I don't feel forced to play it. I'm not at the stage where I'm like, I need to keep up with the Joneses. I need to improve my team. I'm just like, I log on, I play games, and I really like the cups and things like that. Maybe it's because it's open matchmaking and it's a little bit more sort of, fun. But, I'm still enjoying the game. I think EA are doing generally a good job pumping out content. It's just a shame they score such ridiculous own goals as they do with things like Mendy. But otherwise, generally, they're doing a good job of keeping us amused. Certainly, you cannot say that you're not getting your value for money over the course of a year. So, yeah, I would definitely do that. And by the way, you've got till the 22nd of August for the pre-order to get your limited time FIFA World Cup FUT Hero item.
Well, if anybody out there's listening, that's my birthday. So if you want to send me a nice birthday present, give me a shout on a Twitter or in Discord. I'll happily accept an Ultimate Edition ordered by the 22nd.
Although I will say, can you remember? Did you pre-order the Ultimate Edition last year?
No, I was dallying about it and ended up forgetting.
So I did, and of course, because you get this whole one-to-watch player. And, the lure of the FUT Hero. And I got Daniel Marlin as my one to watch. I think got like one upgrade all year.
Yeah, he's still in my club.
Yeah, and I also got Joe Cole but this was when did we get them? Was it the first week of December?
Was it not? Yeah, I'm sure it was really late.
So what I will say is if you're feeling the pinch and don't worry too much about missing out on the Ultimate Edition. Again, with times being tight financially, it doesn't give you that much of a perk. So again, please don't stress out. Also, I'll say as well, if you're pre-ordering, remember that the money doesn't actually go out until the game's released as well. So, and you can always cancel your pre-order up to it. So if you're on the fence, that gives you another option. But look, I feel like I'm shilling for EA now, so I should really stop because I'm not. I really wish they were, giving me some goodies for that, but unfortunately not. So look, let's wrap up the show again. Please head over to patreon.com/FUT in review. Give us that, little bonus, the digital tip jar, if you will. We will be back next week. John returns from his well-deserved vacation next week. And again, we'll have whatever EA release on Friday to talk about and lots more. Of course, pitch notes coming out all the time in relation to FIFA 23. I know they've dropped some bits and pieces on things like career mode over the last week or so. So look, we'll round up the most relevant FUT content in the next few weeks. We're not going anywhere. The schedule is down, but we're still providing you content each and every week. But one thing left to do, Nathe. Oh, actually, before we go, where can people find you on social media?
You can find me at NJ Downs on Twitter, and I am Nathan Downs in our fantastic Discord.
Yes, and I am at Wimby on Twitter, and we are at FUT in Review as well. Unfortunately, the football season has started. Reading started with a defeat, so expect plenty of frustrated gifs coming from me. But that is always a signal that I've gone on too long. Nath, one thing left to do.
We can drop it.
We are going to drop it.
Drop it.
F-U-T. F-U-T. F-F-F-U-T. F-U-T. T. In review. F-U-T.